Hello, this is Scotty O,
And I'm Melanie.
and welcome to Tantra Talk 2, Witness Consciousness. Before we begin, we're going to start with an Aum, and we recommend that you do this at home too. So you want to explain what it is real quick?
Yes. So the it's the feminine sound of creation. It helps us to get in touch with our hearts with the ah, our sex with the ooh, and our minds and third eye with the mmm. So everyone try this at home and place your hand over your heart. And we take in a deep breath. And as we exhale intoning the sound ah. And just feel the ah sound vibrating through your body. And noticing what you're experiencing and what you're sensing.
And check in with yourself right now and notice how present you are. How, is your mind chit-chattering away? Are you, distracted? Or you think about other things right now? And then notice if you can be more present after this practice. Okay.
All right, deep breath in. Now move your hand to below your belly button next to your sex or over your womb, and we'll intone the sound ooh. Deep breath in. And up to the third eye. And we'll intone the sound Now, you take in one deep breath and intone all three sounds. Ah, ooh, And we'll go through it and do it 3 times. And do your best to pay attention to noticing the different parts of your body as you do it and keeping your attention on your heart as you move to your sex and your attention on your heart and your sex as you move to the mind. This is a process of integrating those 3 centers in our body and being open and aware and conscious of each part all together at the same time. Okay? Deep breath in.
Just notice. I gave you an extra one. When you're really present, counting becomes difficult because you're only in the moment. But notice how you feel right now. This is a great thing to do right before giving a talk or having a business meeting or just get centered and grounded, even like before going to sleep or starting your day. And so that's one of the techniques we recommend, and we'll be starting all of our Tantra Talks with an Aum. And our Tantra Talks, by the way, are every Tuesday from 6 to 6:30. So tune on in, and each one is a different topic, and get to know us. And hopefully we can share you some information and techniques and practices that will make a difference in your life. So today's topic is witness consciousness. Before we dive into that, why don't we share a little bit about what happened this weekend? We had an amazing weekend at Flipside where we put witness consciousness and presence into practice, and we had some pretty extraordinary results. Would you like to share?
Yeah. all weekend, I felt completely present, completely living in the moment, completely sharing my true, authentic self, completely into every one of my emotions, expressing my emotions fully, no matter what they were. And I was totally turned on and tuned in and just oozing with sexiness the whole time, and just reveling in it and just allowing myself to express my sexiness, express my flirtation, express my love, and be open and vulnerable and authentic with everyone I met and interacted with.
And it's what makes living life worth living. You know, it's like is really joyous for me too. I think that one of the most powerful things was I just kept getting overwhelmed with gratitude. You know, like I'd look in people's eyes and I would just, you know, fall in love with them just because, you know, I was being totally present in the moment and just seeing their divine self. You know, when you're totally present, you're witness to the divine. You see beauty in everything. You know, can fully feel love and connection. And I was just breaking out in tears all weekend, just like I'm being so grateful that just I get to live this life, and how extraordinary it is. And the big presence is a big key to that.
I know. I was breaking out into tears too. Like, I don't know what's wrong. I was crying. I can't talk anymore. I just was so authentic and vulnerable and overwhelmed with love. Oh,
You know,
it was so good.
but it wasn't anything wrong. It was like I felt probably this is like the best weekend of my life so far. And
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing about practicing Tantra is like every month or so we have like this brand new opening, new awakening, you know, that just blows open our ideas of what's possible. I mean, one of the cool things, you want to talk about the circling that we did?
Yeah. So life just keeps getting better and better and better.
Briefly, sweet,
And one of the things that we did this weekend, we've done tantric healing circles before, and we've been developing that skill and honing that skill. And this weekend, it went just exploded even more powerfully and amazingly and out of this world than we ever even thought possible. And I just felt so totally centered and connected to my divine self and connected to goddess energy and just connected into like my partner and everyone and everything and the music and nature. And I felt a very loving and giving mood this weekend. So we decided to do some circling, in which we put a person in the middle and Scott at the head with their head and his lap, and me straddling them right at the core of your sexiness, root and sex center. And having a circle of people who have all been tantrically trained and who are in sync with us and get it, surrounding us.
And some were new. In fact, we did another circle. We had a lot of people who never practiced Tantra.
And we would start by having everyone just ground and sink into the energy and just feel earth energy grounding into the bodies. And then we'd start to build it up. The whole while everyone's toning and making sound with every exhale. And everybody's harmonizing with their sounds and just sending out the energy of love and acceptance into the circle, creating this bubble of love and acceptance just oozing out of everyone. And I would just move and work my magic and my channeling and just push energy through their bodies. And Scott would just pull it up and into the sky and just release it and pull it up and release. And we were just creating so much magic and so much healing and so much super powerful divine channeling for people. And it was fun and orgasmic and freaking amazing. amazing all at the same time.
Yeah, when we were all focusing and being present together, we were able to over and over again with different people in the center achieve simultaneous orgasms, really.
Bliss and ecstasy.
Without sex, we were just doing just energy. And then we used it to heal too. Like I was feeling the person in the center's emotions and really processing it. I went through some grief. I was like crying out, like anguish cries, and then anger and rage, and then it went into laughter. We were able to just use the energy to clear this stuff out, and it was really powerful for me to feel that I was just something channeling the divine, because this energy has an intelligence all its own that, and like I wasn't consciously attempting to do anything other than just moving the energy in the way that we've been taught through Tantra, and then like emotions just kind of overcame me. And like anytime you have emotions coming up through Tantra, you just want to feel them. And not only was I feeling it for myself, I was feeling it for the partner in the center, and it was really a healing for him. Anyway, so this is just some of the cool stuff that's been happening.
Yeah. Tantric energy, even the sexual energy, can be moved and used for healing, as well as ecstatic bliss and orgasm. And it can all be done so easily and freely without even having to think about what's going on, without having to talk about what's coming up, without me or him or any of us knowing what's going on. Just opening up to being present and to feeling your body and feeling what you feel called to and just moving it through.
Trusting your inner knowingness.
Yeah, so good.
Let's talk about that. So what is present? And by the way, this is just one of the many techniques that we're going to be covering about on the Tantra Talks. But presence is a big one. So you want to talk about what is being present, being in the zone? We'll start with that.
Yeah. So being present is when you're just here, in the moment, in the now, living completely 100% present, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, not worrying about this, that, or the other, not going chitter chatter, chitter chatter, chitter chatter, just being in your body, fully present, fully feeling, fully sensing, fully living in the moment.
Yeah, Eckhart Tolle wrote a book, The Power of Now, and he basically says if you can just master that, if you just be present, that's enlightenment, if you can continuously be present. And I think we experience a little bit of that. Not enlightenment, but being present and seeing how that becomes just bliss. Anyway, so being present. So it's also something that a lot of people talk about being in the zone. If you're in the sports and so forth, it's like something that happens when you're like doing something special, is like death defying. If you're rock climbing or you're river rafting or something, where you have to be totally focused in the present moment, and you aren't consciously thinking like, okay, I got to row this way or row that way, but you're just in it, and your body's naturally responding the way it needs to, but you are actually performing at a higher level than you can as if you got your brain into it. I experienced this when I did both martial arts and sword fighting. Same thing is like when I was really at my best is I was just in the flow. I was just going with it, and my body knew what to do. And the moment I would start thinking about, oh, am I doing this right? Or oh my God, I remember a tournament, I was like, I'm doing so well, and then I lost it. It's like, so it's you
Start
have to
thinking your body can't keep up with your thinking. You just got to be in your body, letting your body do it.
Yeah, so there's a book called The Zone too. It's basically, this is a state that most professional athletes, Olympians, and so forth really strive for, because we perform at a higher level by being present. And it's really just about being aware of what's going on in your environment, aware of what's going on in your body. And that's a big part of it too, is that a lot of people think that they're being present when they're like watching a television show or something. And I'd say the distinction there is that when you're watching a movie, and I can do that if you're really into it, I'm not necessarily present to what's around me or what's going on. I'm focused.
Or what's in your body.
Yeah, or what's in my body. In fact, there's 3 ways to distinguish if you're being present or not. One is, are you conscious of your body? Like, are your sensations, your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, like knowing what is happening internally, because your body has all this wisdom. It taps into greater consciousness. It'll tell you a lot of things. I mean, like trusting your gut and, feeling your heart broken. All these things are chakras and parts of your body that are teaching us things. And if we listen to our bodies, it can really guide us in the direction that I think, higher powers, whatever, are directing us towards our higher good. And so, so basically you need to be aware of and connected to your body to be present the way we're just talking about. Another way is mind chatter, like those little voices go on in your head. If you're saying, what voices are you talking about? It's those voices. It's stuff that's going on for most of us. And for most of us, it's really difficult to stop the chatter. If we're thinking about the future and we're making plans, or we are worrying about the past or comparing ourselves to something that happened, then we aren't really in that moment. And joy and bliss and love all happens just in the moment. It has nothing to do with the past or the future.
And relaxation happens in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Not
no stress.
worrying.
Yeah, which
That's
is healing.
relaxation.
Yeah. And the third thing is judgment. If we are being critical, if we're judging, if we're assessing, if we're saying, oh, I'm not doing this enough, or am I doing this right, or anything that gets us in our intellectual valuation, that takes us out of the present moment as well. That's why when we're making love, we when you're learning things and figuring out each other's bodies, it's one thing to give feedback and descriptions, and I'm all for that. And as you progress, it's better to not talk so much as it is to just feel. Make sounds so they can judge feedback, what's working and where you are. But when you start talking, it takes people out of being in that delicious present moment.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to say about being present?
So, yeah, he was talking about feeling it in sports. I also feel it in dance a whole lot. I love to dance.
Yeah.
And just getting that flow of being connected into the music, being connected into my partner, connected into the earth and the elements, and feeling it all flow through me. And sometimes I really like to close my eyes so I don't have the visual distractions of all the stuff going on around me, and just getting completely into the flow and the movement of the dance. And then, of course, lovemaking and just being zoom. The more present you can be in lovemaking, the more out of this world amazing boom lovemaking becomes.
Yeah, really, for most people, making love is the most present they'll ever get. It's when we really dissolve our ego. We sometimes lose our sense of self.
And
we
we
become
merge
unified.
into one, can feel our energy and feel his energy and feel our energies dancing and our souls dancing, and the divine between us and the divine without us. And you lose track of time, and it seems like it lasts forever, even if it doesn't last forever. I mean, obviously we gotta take care of our other bodily functions at some point.
Yeah,
But
I guess it's tricky to be in being present all the time. I mean, there's still, I guess, uses for planning and so forth. And most of us spend way too much time in stressing, worrying, planning than we are being present in the moment, And it's something you can practice. It's a practice like anything else, and it gets better. You get better at it over time. So when you're doing dishes, even using the bathroom, when you're going to sleep, you can just focus on your breathing, just focus on your body and your sensations is a good way of just, practicing presence. And even when you're driving, instead of just checking out or listening to the radio or something, just notice what's going on in your body and around you. That's all why breathing is so important too, is because breathing helps us connect to our bodies and helps us be present with what's happening internally as well as externally.
So, along the lines with being present and being in the flow, there's the concept of witness consciousness. And witness consciousness is being fully present in our bodies, experiencing our experience, all the sensations, thoughts, and feelings that come with that, and being a non-judgmental witness. It's like right here watching and observing and witnessing everything that's going on. And one of the huge benefits of witness consciousness is you can start to notice things that are happening in your body. Notice what's really triggering you to spiral out. Notice what's really triggering you to be unhappy or to be upset. Notice what's going on in your body and how what you're doing is working. Like when you're doing the Tantric practice, noticing all the sensations in your body and being like, interesting. And the witness is, it's the curious observer noting how everything, how interesting. And it's not judgment, it's not critical, it's not, am I doing this right, I'm not doing this well. It's, Interesting to note.
Yeah,
Good to note.
and while you're in it, it's key not to get into evaluation mode. You know, it's kind of doing two things at once. It's being fully engaging in whatever you're experiencing. So make sure not to get in your head and take yourself out of the experience. So if you're feeling an emotion, you want to fully feel it. You want to fully express it. You know, if you're having the best lovemaking orgasm of your life, you want to experience it. And with practice, you can do that. And at the same time, a little part of you is just noticing, going, look what's happening to my body while I'm having this experience. You know, because sometimes our experience or emotion is so intense that we stop noticing what's happening. So if we can start doing that, then we can start noticing things like, oh, look, I'm angry. Look at what I'm getting angry about right now. I'm about to say something that's going to trigger her and make her angry. And unless we notice that, we'll just go on this automatic, because we're trained to, you know, for our subconscious to do things. And if we don't notice, we can't interrupt or make new choices. So most of us are still operating out of conditioning that's we created, you know, when we were like 5.
An autopilot.
An autopilot, yeah, and we don't even know it. We don't even see it. And witness consciousness is one of the most powerful ways to start having choice, true choice, of recognizing how we're acting, how we're behaving. Are we feeling? Are we experiencing what we want? So the key is to notice it while you're experiencing it fully, and then afterwards, you can evaluate it and judge and choose to make different moments, but just don't get into the trap of judging yourself while you're in the moment.
Yeah, the other great thing about witness consciousness, for example, like I notice that whenever I'm feeling hungry, whenever I'm feeling tired and need a nap, I start losing my patience. And when I start losing my patience, I become cranky, I become bitchy, I become demanding and commanding, and don't you dare ask me to do something, because I will not be happy about it. And by noticing this and noticing that pattern, I can notice earlier that when I'm hungry and tired, time to feed me, time for me to take a nap, I need to be fed and I need to have my nap, and I'm going to be rejuvenated after that, and I can skip all that ugly stuff that comes if I don't end up eating or taking care of myself.
Yeah. So again, other things that being present or using witness consciousness does is it helps you be more creative, more spontaneous. Like, you know, true creativity comes while being present too. You know, if you're a writer or a musician or, you know, and then a dancer, you know, it's like your creative self-expression, your ability to truly flow and enjoy only happens in the moment. If you're thinking about the left foot or right foot, or, you know, it's just not quite the same. So the... and if you have any questions about being present out there, feel free to you know, type them up, and we'll do our best to answer them while we're here and we've got you live. Also, what else can we tell you about presence? So it also enables you to connect with a higher source, a higher power, God, if you will, whatever you want to call it. It's like, that's, for me, that happened this weekend, where I really got to feel and experience others' divinity, for lack of a better word, and it was really profound. And again, I'm like, I'm gonna go back and do more of that. You know, like, I want to do it now. You know, I get to do it now. It's like but it's a practice, because our body, our mind wants to go right back into judging, assessing, evaluating, and so forth. So that's why, you know, it takes practice. So what else can we tell you about witness consciousness and presence? Any other last moments?
Yeah, well, as I said, being totally present and utilizing witness consciousness is definitely the secret to accessing your divine self. Because it's by being totally open, totally present, totally in the flow, that you're open to receiving divine messages and to noticing what your body is telling you and to acting upon it and to listening to it and be like, my body's telling me I need to drink and eat right now. Okay, let me go do that right now. Or my body's telling me I need to get to know this person. Let me go get to know that person. Or sometimes I even receive visions whenever there's someone I really need to get to know. It's like, boom. I'm like, divine presence telling me definitely need to get to know that person. Or, boom, I need to give this person a hug. And I tell you, stuff goes on when I hug people. I can't even describe with words what goes on. But it is like the goddess is working through me and healing someone, some energetic, cool stuff going on, all within a hug. And it is so good. Now, I must have hugged 100 or more people this weekend. And like every hug was just a bit of magic happening.
And we want you to experience this magic. That's what we're here. That's what we're sharing. It's like, and some of you already are. And the more present you are, the more beautiful life is going to be, the richer and more fulfilling every moment is. And you can do this at any time. And it can take you out of any situation that's less than optimal, because your mind controls your experience. Your interpretation of your reality gives you your reality, and you have total control of your interpretations at all times. It just takes practice. So one of the last things I want to say is also when you're present with your lover, with someone that you're partnering with, that's the biggest gift you can give someone. It's like it gives you access to really to be heard, to really listen, to be seen, to have someone really giving you their full, total,
Undivided
attention is rare. A lot of couples just don't do that, and or very often. And so it's something, it's a real gift that you give to others too. It's like, and also when we really noticed, like this weekend, we attracted a lot of really quality people in the way, just into our lives, just like, attracting them. And the way we did that is just be really present with our own emotions and how I feel. And it's like, and we go, oh yeah, like this person has a good energy, or I think we need to talk to that person. And we felt, almost divinely guided on how we vacationed, or partied, or whatever you would call it this weekend. So,
And the other thing about presence is, like he said, we feel when someone's being present with us. And we feel heard and understood and seen just by someone giving us their full, undivided attention and presence.
yeah.
And that's a magical, powerful thing. And like even when you're like giving a massage to someone, you bring magic to that massage when you bring your full, undivided attention and presence to that massage. And you can start feeling in their body what's going on and feeling exactly what they need, exactly where they need to be touched, and exactly what pressure they need, just by sinking in, being fully present and opening up into connection. And from the receiver's point of view, I know when he's being present or not. And when he's not being present, like, hello, I need presence right now. I need you to be present. Stop thinking about whatever you're doing. Presence, right here, right now. And it's amazingly different. And it feels so good when he's present. And it turns me on so much. And, yeah. And when you're making love, do whatever you need to do to get stuff off your mind and into a present state. And doing a tantric ritual like the Gaia sets that we teach really helps to be conducive to reaching that state of being fully present and connected, and then you can move in from a state of presence and connection into lovemaking.
So let's give you a couple of techniques. So the Aum we started with is one of the things that can help you get present. Another one is just noticing your breath. Do you want to teach them Hong Sa in 1 minute?
Sure.
So this is the type of breath that'll quiet the mind.
All right, so this is the Hong Sa breath meditation. You sit up nice and tall with your spine straight.
Always got to have your spine straight.
And as you breathe in and out, you're going to breathe in and out through the nose. And you're going to put your tongue in Kachari Mudra, which means your tongue is pointing upwards towards your third eye. I know you can't see it, but point your tongue upwards towards your third eye.
And then you're
breathing in and out through the nose. Then we add in the breath mantra that I'm going to say for you, but you're going to just think it. Hong Sa.
And while you're doing that, the path of the breath.
Hong Sa.
It starts. She has her own way of wanting to do this, I guess.
And as you're doing this, you're going to imagine a golden ball of light entering through your third eye, going through the middle of your skull to the across the psychic bridge to the base of your skull, called the mouth of God. And then as you exhale, the energy comes right back out, right in front of your third eye, golden ball of light. In across the psychic bridge to the mouth of God. Out across the psychic bridge to the third eye. Alright, let's do this. Hum. Sa.
One more time. And anytime you practice on with your breath is just a good way to like get present to your body and just notice. And one last thing you can do is a little exercise is take an orange and really slowly consume it over like 5 minutes or something, and like notice all your senses, like notice how it feels, notice the smell and the texture when you open it up, and how it hits your nostrils, and what it feels like on your tongue when you bite it, and just use, and again, evoke all your senses while you eat it. This is a great thing to do while eating, to really practice being present, appreciating your food too. And so that's pretty much all we have time for right now, but we would hope you check in next week. Again, same time, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, only for 30 minutes. And we'll give you a different tip every time with some new practices to start. So I hope you've enjoyed this Tantra Talk.
It was good seeing y'all. Join us next week.
Namaste.